What's up EFD and welcome back to Scout Report. Today we're running through 5 players you should probably be taking a bit more notice of because they're doing pretty well. 5. Remo Freuler. Listeners to the Football Daily podcast or followers of Italian football will probably have heard us singing the praises of midfielder Remo Freuler, who runs the centre of the park for pocket powerhouse Atalanta. The Swiss joined the Bergamo outfit for just €1.5 million back in 2016, leaving his homeland for the first time at the age of 24. But he's since picked up 12 caps for the national team, despite competing with the more well-known Granit Xhaka. Freuler's style of play is somewhat similar to Xhaka, as well as deep controllers like Toni Kroos and Jorginho. Atalanta are a possession side, ranking 3rd in Serie A for percentage of the ball at the time of writing, and Freuler is the keystone, making the most passes per game of any player on the team at about 66. However, he's much more than a back pass merchant, creating 1.4 chances per 90 minutes from a deep position last season, while Jorginho was only just ahead on 1.7 at Napoli, a much better attacking team. In fact, Freuler is one of the best players in Europe at getting the ball into the final third. According to StatsBomb, he is 9th in Europe's top 5 leagues for deep completions, meaning dribbles or passes which end in the opposition's third of the pitch. The players above him: Thiago, Kroos, Jorginho, Rakitic, Messi, Brozovic, Neymar and Modric. Not bad company for a guy valued at just €14 million by Transfermarkt. But he's not simply an attacking threat. The 26-year-old also covers plenty of ground, generally making around 3.5 tackles and interceptions a game, a solid contribution, and it seems to pay dividends, with Atalanta boasting the 3rd best defence in Italy according to expected goals in each of the last 2 campaigns. Forward Papu Gomez might get all the plaudits at the club, and deservedly so, but manager Gianpiero Gasperini will be hoping that no one notices the player truly at the heart of his team's success. 4. Bastian Oczipka. We constantly hear complaints from top managers about how hard it is to find elite fullbacks, but with Bastian Oczipka still in Germany, perhaps they just aren't looking hard enough. The left-back began his career with Bayer Leverkusen and went on to spend 5 years with Eintracht Frankfurt, before switching to Schalke in 2017 for just €4.5 million. That's $1 million less than Man United pay Marouane Fellaini per year, and it's not hard to feel that a gamble on the German might have been a better use of the cash. Now 29, it's unlikely Oczipka gets the move his consistent quality merits, but at least he's finally at a Champions League side. Sort of. Oczipka has always been extremely solid in defence, and last year he won the ball back 4 times a game for the Königsblauen. That was actually a long way down on his rate of about 6 tackles and interceptions per match for Eintracht, likely as a result of Domenico Tedesco's defence-first system, which shares the work around. But Oczipka still stands out, as despite being an active defender, he has averaged under a foul per game over the last 3 years, a sign of both good technique and match reading. That's backed up by his success rate, with a massive 87% of Oczipka's attempted tackles seeing him walk away with the ball over the last 2 seasons, nearly 10% higher than Kyle Walker since he moved to Man City. But more unusually, Oczipka can also make a difference in attack. In the 2017-18 Bundesliga, he created 2.2 chances per game, a genuinely spectacular number which you'd expect to see from a good attacking midfielder or winger, not an ageing fullback. In fact, that tally placed Oczipka top of the Schalke squad for goal-scoring opportunities created, and he even ranked 14th in the Bundesliga. Add to that 1.5 completed dribbles a game, and you have the picture of a modern fullback, an outstanding defender who drives the team forward and knows what to do once he reaches the opposition area. Quietly, Oczipka has had a fantastic career, and while he may no longer have a shot at the transfer he deserves, he can at least get the praise he's due. 3. Denis Zakaria. The second Swiss midfielder to make our list, Denis Zakaria is in his 2nd campaign at Borussia Mönchengladbach, having switched from Young Boys in 2017 for €12 million. A defensive midfielder who can also feature at centre-back, Zakaria is 22 and already has 13 caps for his country, having made his debut at 19. In his first year in the Bully, Zakaria put up exceptional defensive numbers, registering 4.7 tackles and interceptions per game, around the same as Arsenal's midfield terrier, Lucas Torreira. However, Zakaria has an advantage over the Uruguayan in his rangy 6'2" frame, and his partnership with Christoph Kramer gave more freedom to Lars Stindl and Torgan Hazard in attack, with the pair registering a combined 16 goals and 8 assists in league play. So far in 2018-19, Zakaria's output has dropped to 3.5 defensive actions per 90 minutes, but he's playing a larger role in ball progression with 1.5 dribbles a match. That's perhaps unsurprising given that the youngster says his idols are Vieira and Pogba, though he's also been likened to Toni Kroos, a bit generous given that he completes about the same number of passes per game as keeper Jan Sommer. However, with 89%, he did have the best pass accuracy at Gladbach last year, and he has also seen an uptick in creative numbers this season, with around 1 chance laid on per game, a nice bonus for a man playing at the base of midfield. Already linked to Tottenham and Liverpool, it seems certain that Zakaria will one day play a bigger role at a bigger club. But for now, he looks a key component in powering Gladbach's attempt to regain Champions League status. 2. Junior Firpo. Another left-back is in at 2. Real Betis have established themselves as a hotbed of young talent in the last few seasons, producing Dani Ceballos, Fabian Ruiz and now defender Junior Firpo, who joined the club's youth team in 2014. Only making his senior debut in February 2018, Firpo has now made himself indispensable to coach Quique Setien, playing as a flying wing-back in the side's 3-4-2-1 formation. On first glance, the 22-year-old's defensive numbers don't look hugely impressive, with a combined 3 tackles and interceptions per match, but Betis have a massive average 61% possession in La Liga, ranking second and ahead of Real Madrid, and as a result, it's difficult for their defenders to win the ball back, given that they already have it most of the time. Firpo is good in the air though, standing 6 feet tall and winning around 60% of his aerial duels, but it's really his attacking contribution which has made headlines this campaign. After 13 league appearances, the defender has 3 goals and 1 assist. Despite notionally playing in the back half of the field, Firpo gets off a shot from inside the box every single game and creates a chance too. Expected goals also suggests that this level of attacking play is sustainable, and that means that according to XG, Firpo has the same chance of scoring or assisting in any given match as Aaron Ramsey and Naby Keita. Secure on the ball too, Firpo has lost possession only 16 times in his 30 senior appearances across the league and Europa League, and rarely gives away free kicks either, generally committing less than 1 foul a game. The Spanish press have repeatedly linked Arsenal, Man City and Newcastle with the youngster, and while he was born in the Dominican Republic, Firpo has Spanish citizenship, making it easier to get a work permit for him if he's signed in the January window before Brexit goes through at the end of March. So better act quickly if you want one of Europe's rising defensive stars. 1. Fabio Quagliarella. Not so much a player you haven't heard of as a name you knew once but had forgotten. Fabio Quagliarella comes from Campania, a flourishing Italian wine region, and just like the area's other product, he keeps getting better with age. The former Italian international, who won 25 caps, is now 35 years old and at Sampdoria, the 8th team of a career which has seen him turn out for Napoli and Juventus. Quagliarella is old, even for a veterans league like Serie A, and at the time of writing, only 2 players are both older than Quagliarella and have played more minutes than him this season. But nobody can match his output. After 13 match days, the striker has racked up 7 goals and 5 assists, giving him a goal involvement every 92 minutes, better than Kane, Insigne and Salah. That follows a season in which he was the 4th highest scorer in Serie A with 19 goals, putting him behind only Immobile, Icardi and Dybala. That means he outscored Lukaku, Firmino, Mbappe and Fekir domestically in 2017-18, despite playing for a side which finished 10th in the league and being a full 16 years older than Mbappe. This campaign though, Quagliarella is showing some signs of slowing down. At 3.2, his shots per game are the lowest they have been since records began in 2009. But another way of looking at that is that it means Quagliarella has been putting up above average shot tallies for the last full decade. He even approached the Ronaldo and Messi level of 6 attempts a match during his time under Conte at Juve, where he won a trio of titles, suggesting that he's been underrated since Jadon Sancho was watching Cartoon Network. And to counterbalance his decline in shooting, Quagliarella is a better creator than ever, with his 1.6 key passes per 90 the best of his post-Juve career. Unsurprisingly, Samp get next to no defensive work or dribbling out of him, but with the forward conserving his energy for the moments when it matters, they've got their very own version of Antonio Di Natale, a brilliant operator in the final third, essentially the player that Jermaine Defoe always claimed he was. So those were our 5 great players that you haven't heard of, but have we missed anyone out? Should anyone be getting a shout out? Let us know in the comments below. Now, if you've enjoyed this, why not catch up with Stat Wars the League and go and subscribe to FDFC, where we've got a new 7 series out, as well as other content like non-league vlogs. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time.